Hey guys, this is National Master Kevin Yang back at it with another video. So this one is against Kat2007 again. Let's get started, shall we? And this is a Rey Lopez, or the Spanish opening. E4, E5, and bishop to B5. D6 and now C3. You might be wondering, why C3 and not directly D4, right? And to be honest, both moves are pretty good. But I play c3 mainly because in the Rey Lopez there's this strategy that you bring your bishop back to c2 and you play d4. And what I intended to do was I wanted to sort of reenact that strategy, but in a somewhat different way. So after knight f6 I played queen to e2, and after bishop g4 I played d3. I was not here to play the opening trap bait game. I was here to play strategy. Bishop e7, knight d2, h3, and now a4. And I'm really not sure about a4, but originally I wanted to play bishop a4, but I think I was worried about knight d4 somewhere. I don't know. This position it doesn't work because I have takes e5, and something like knight c4, right, going for that e5 pawn. But somehow some chord of fear struck for this connection here. So after h3, bishop d7, I played a4. And I played a4 to protect this bishop away from knight d4 things. So in this position, it's really hard to tell what black should do. I mean, there's obviously a6, but what I'm trying to do is maybe incorporate a b4, but what I also want to do is really bring this bishop back, because this is a bad bishop and this is a good bishop. So I need to keep the good bishop going, right? I need to keep rolling with the good vibes. So after a6, I play bishop to c4. And after knight to a5, now I kind of feel like knight to a5 is a great move, but I would say another one of those moves is probably bishop to e6. I don't know. I mean, clearly the computer disagrees with me and says knight to a5 all the way. So congratulations to Kat2007. I play bishop a2 now. And at this moment, our friend Kat said, I'm going to take on a4. I want to see what happens. And I was like, sure. Let me just take on f7. Rook takes, and now rook takes bishop. So it's just a trade, just a magic trick. Nothing disappeared. Knight c6 now. And this gives me a chance. Because after c5, well, same thing would happen. Knight g5, I'd just be going for that knight, going for that rook, my bad. So, rook takes, knight c6, and I'm just going for the chance now. Not knight f1, but what I could have done is knight g5. I really don't know why I didn't play knight g5. Maybe I was like I was probably thinking really hard for another game. But on a regular day, I would play knight g5. So I played knight f1, probably out of convenience, because I knew my strategy, the Rey Lopez strategy, is bam bam, right? Or bam bam. Just the f5 square is so important in the Rey Lopez or the Spanish opening. Then b5 came. I retreated my rook. I was like a5, okay, and now knight g3. Somehow I still missed knight g5, b4, and now I finally played it. I don't know why it took me so long to play it, but after take, queen to b8, I was like, whoa, I think I have another opportunity. So I played queen to a2. Look at how much pressure I have on that guy, right? And I think queen d8 is a good move here. Knight to d8 is a good move here. They all work. So knight to d8 was played, and now knight to f5. And at this moment, king to f8. And you'll notice that throughout this time, I've not decided to capture the rook. And the reason is because, well, number one, it's pinned. So I have all day to think about if I want to capture the rook or not. And the idea with pinned pieces, like I said in my last few videos, I was like, pinned pieces, it's like you're in a fight and somebody's pinned you down. You just can't move. You're like frozen. So knight to f5, and now king to f8. So I think bishop to f8 might have worked better because I was only threatening the bishop, really. And I think the king belongs on g8, personally, because there's maybe a better protection to h7 and just makes you more cozy. But king to f8 happened, and I was like, take, and I castled. And at this point, I remember being low on time because I was concentrating on other games. So here I played g6. I quickly played knight to h6, saying, okay, if you come here, I'm going to take back, and I'm going to come in. So after take, king e8, rook to rook f to b1. So I'm moving on in. Right? I need to move on in, and I need to get there. Queen to a7, and now bishop to e3. Queen to a6, now queen to e6. So I'm pushing for it because I need to put some pressure on this king. Queen takes d3, and I was like, no, now's not the right time to grab pawns because of bishop to g5. Just more pressure toward this king, more pressure toward e7. King to f8, I'll take that. Rook to b7. And after queen takes c3, I played rook to b1. I said, you know what? Pawns are not important. It's all about the checkmate that's coming. So after rook f8, I played rook to b8. And at this moment, well, as you know it, rook takes b8 happened, and it was a checkmate. So what really made me win this game? Well, I think the opening was solid, right? We were all okay. Maybe I shouldn't have played a4. Maybe I should have retreated my bishop still. But regardless, after bishop takes a4, I kind of felt like this a4 pawn was a poison pawn, right? It gave me the opportunities that I didn't have, right? For example, knight g5 was something that I don't know why I didn't play it earlier, but I eventually played it. And then queen to a2, and this idea of activity, I'm bringing my pieces to active squares. I think that's what's important here, right? And if we look at this ending, queen takes d3. Now, I know pawns are important in terms of material, right? But the fact that I am able to really bypass this sort of, pawns are important, but what's more important is the attack, going for the king, right? The fact that I'm able to recognize that is just being able to see what's more valued than others. So I'm going for it, and there's checkmate. So that is that, but I hope you enjoyed the game. Hope you follow your curiosity. Just do your tactics every day. Keep up your training. You're bound to improve no matter what. And no matter what you do, you will be successful. So, see you next time.